I'm delighted to welcome the 2016 Asia Pacific Amateur Champion, Curtis Luck, to the interview room. Curtis, you played tremendously well all week, but a great performance today to pull so many shots back on the leaders, and obviously a huge putt on 18. Can you just talk us through what was going through your mind as you came down 18th there?
Yeah, I kind of thought that if I'd make birdie down the last hole, it might be good enough, obviously, to win. And as I was walking from my second shot, which I left in the bunker around the green, I saw that the leaderboard had updated and Brett had made a good birdie on 17, so it made my job really clear. Obviously knowing that we were now tied and Brett had the opportunity to make birdie down the last, so as you can imagine I was pretty nervous over that bunker shot, but managed to flub it out and hole a good putt on the last, so yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking for me.
And how does it feel to have won an event of this stature, obviously after winning the US Amateur this year? It's been a great season for you.
Yeah, I've had an amazing year, and this has topped it off. This is pretty sweet. I've still got some pretty big events left on my schedule, so hopefully it's not the end of my year yet. But yeah, no, it's an amazing event to play, and obviously to get my name on that trophy, and yeah, it's awesome. So I'm looking forward to the opportunities that rise from an event like this, and yeah, hopefully I can make the most of them.
Okay, thank you. We'll take questions from the floor. John?
Hey Curtis, how are you? A couple days ago you and I were talking about the pressure or the lack thereof of coming into this tournament, only having a spot in the Masters, and I'm just curious, did that make it easier today to start off 7 shots back and just come out and play your game? What impact did that already having that invitation in hand, having the way you played and approached your round today?
Yeah, I can't remember what hole it was on, but someone came up to me and said, "Don't you want a mate to go to Augusta with?" And I kind of thought about it for a second, and I kind of thought, well, that's pretty good. So yet again, it was another thing that had kind of come up, and I was like, wouldn't be that bad having another fellow Aussie amateur there as well anyway. But yeah, definitely out there, my job was pretty simple. I was purely trying to climb the leaderboard as much as I could, and the result at the end of the day probably wasn't so significant. But yeah, was able to pretty much go after it on that final 9 holes, and fortunately I took advantage of some good shots, and yeah, I guess you could say that having the ticket to Augusta already probably was a bit of a relief for me, yeah.
George?
Can you compare your 2 fantastic new victories at all?
Yeah, obviously both offer amazing opportunities, both are great weeks. You know, off course this week, it's probably a much funner week than US Amateur, so to spend obviously some good time with the other 5 Aussies here, and we've got 2 coaches as well, is pretty cool. So in terms of the enjoyment level off course, this event, there's no other event like it. So it's been a fantastic week, and obviously the US Amateur was pretty enjoyable as well, but this one's, yeah, it's something special.
You've got some a lovely head of hair there, mate. Do you shampoo and condition that?
Yes, very often.
Okay, next question, please.
Curtis, well done. Your performance in elite amateur events, which I guess are like the majors for the amateurs, is you won the US Amateur, you won the Asia Pacific, and you were second at Eisenhower. Does this give you a lot of confidence going into the majors next year, but also your performance in these events as a professional?
For sure. Yeah, I've got some pretty amazing professional events coming up, and these past few months have given me a lot of confidence and a good understanding of where I'm at. And yeah, no, I have performed pretty well this year and in these big events. So yeah, put it this way, I'm very excited to play in these events and obviously test my ability. So yeah.
And casting your mind back to the W Open 2 years ago, where you had a fairly heartbreaking second place finish, you were probably feeling similar to how Brett's feeling now. Can you take us through how that experience has helped you go on to bigger things, like you won the W Open the next year and have gone on to where you are now?
Yeah, I did go through exactly what Brett's going through at the moment. It's tough after obviously a pretty heartbreaking loss like that. It took me a few months to get over, but fortunately you usually learn more from your mistakes than you do from your rights. So yeah, I can say that pretty confidently that Brett's probably going to come back bigger and better in the next year, and I hope he does. But yeah, no, it definitely gave me a lot of confidence at these elite events to obviously, and it gave me a good understanding of where I sit amongst other golfers, and that confidence has probably inspired me to bigger and better things over the past 8 months. So yeah, no, definitely.
The next question, Henry at the back, please.
Well done, Curtis. I guess obviously your objective is to win here, and you were too good on the day. Is there though perhaps a tinge of sadness for what I guess Brett went through with the position he was in, leading by quite a lot yesterday, and obviously not quite getting it done today?
Yeah, a lot. Because Brett's a really close friend of mine, so I obviously understand what the opportunity that he's just missed out on, and I will say I feel a little guilty and a little bad, but yeah, unfortunately that's the sport we're in. You know, I'm so competitive, I couldn't probably give up the chance to try and win an event like this, and yeah, it's just how it goes. But yeah, I feel guilty in a way.
I suppose you're probably just waiting to sort of play in those majors and then kick off your pro career. What do you feel like you have anything left to achieve as an amateur?
Yeah, plenty. I still look at every event as something I can win, and so with that, there's plenty more to learn, I guess, before I turn pro. But the big thing for me that I'd really like to conquer is the world #1 on the amateur rankings. I think that'd be it's something that I've always wanted to achieve. So to do that before turning professional would mean a lot to me. So hopefully in the next few months I can achieve that.
So you're not going to be one after this, world #1?
Not sure. I wouldn't think so. From what I know, Maverick McNeely, who's currently world #1, is a fair few points ahead of me. So
this is a pretty general question, but you obviously appear to be extremely gritty on the course. Is that, do you think, your greatest strength is sort of up here?
Yeah, I would probably say so. It's a pretty grueling week this. The conditions weren't unbelievable. The weather was fine, it was just extremely windy, which makes this course a lot tougher. So I knew from the very start it was going to be a grind all week, and I managed to do that really well through the first 3 days, and just kind of plug away and put a score on the board, even though I probably didn't play my best golf. And then thankfully on the last day I hit the ball a bit better, and yeah, was able to take advantage of that and obviously put a good round up on the board.
Thomas, back break please.
두 가지 질문을 좀 드리고 싶은데요. 첫 번째는 마지막 조로 이렇게 출발한 선수들이 좀 심리적으로도 무너지는 경향이 좀 있어 보이는데, 끝에서 두 번째로 출발을 했던 그 티업 시간에 대한 그 부분이 오늘 우승을 하는 데 있어서 좀 어느 정도의 영향을 미쳤는지 한번 여쭤보고 싶고요. 그리고 오늘 어떻게 보면 7타 차 역전 우승을 했는데, 과거에도 이 정도의 그 타수를 역전을 해서 우승을 했던 적이 있었는지 한번 물어보고 싶습니다.
Two questions for you, Brett. The first question is that this was the final round, and it must have been very nerve-wracking to be able to be teeing up as one of the members of the second to the last group of the day. So did it help in any way, or did it not help you go through the day? And the second question is, you were a distant winner today, so there was a difference of 7 shots between you and Brett today. So has it ever happened to you in your past career? Because this is a very big difference between the first and the round round?
Yep. So the answer to the first question is it probably takes a little bit of pressure off you being the group before the last group out there. So it kind of let me do my own thing and not really worry about what the others were doing. So yeah, it makes it easier for me and the other players to be able to just go out, and especially with that sort of lead that they had in comparison to where I was sitting on the leaderboard after round 3. Yeah, as I said, I was able to just do my own thing and try and put a really good score on the leaderboard and hopefully see if they'd be good enough. When it comes to the second question, yes, I've had a situation similar to this before. It happens in golf, unfortunately. Sometimes it takes someone to play, not their best and another to play well. So, and unfortunately in my situation, that was how it ended up going today. And I obviously benefited from it. So, as I said, it's another great performance for Brett and yeah, to sneak out with a win today is pretty amazing. So.
Curtis, just a quick one. Do you have, one thing you get from this week is a start in an open qualifier event. Do you have any event in mind that you might play?
Not really as of yet. My schedule has evolved dramatically in the last 2 months, as you can imagine. So at the moment I'm trying to obviously figure out what I'm playing. I've got a lot of options kind of in front of me, and I just kind of have to selectively choose what events I want to play, so I don't tire myself out for the obviously the majors next year, which are the big ones on my calendar. So yeah, no, not really. Haven't thought about it.
John?
Yeah, short question. How long was your putt on 18? Did you have?
Probably 15 feet, I'd say. 16 feet.
Do you have any more questions?
Obviously, the putt on 18 was extremely pivotal. Was there perhaps another shot throughout the day that you look back on as sort of really, I guess, reigniting your chance to win?
Yeah, I kind of messed up what hole was it, 10 today a little. I went through the front 9 without many mistakes, but at the same time I didn't take advantage of a few opportunities that I had. So I got to the 10th and it was quite a good pin for me to go at, and I'm sure there were plenty of birdies out there today. And unfortunately I hit a pretty bad shot, made up and down, and kind of lost that opportunity that I thought through the front 9 that I'd have to make a good birdie, but then I backed it up on 11 by hitting a pretty average drive that managed to sneak down the fairway, and then I hit a shot from 166 metres with a fire line. I kind of hit a little cut in there and hit it to about 10 foot and hold that, and that kind of, I guess, yeah, it put me back in that positive mindset that it was definitely out there to finish off strongly and at least try and contend. But yeah, I'd say probably that second shot into 11 was key to my round today.
Okay, well, Curtis, congratulations again. What a fantastic performance and very well played, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the future. Thank you.